Hi, so this is my final video for this particular course, and I just like to say, first of all, Dr. Helm Hammond, it has been a joy and a pleasure learning the Kagan concepts and the cooperative learning as opposed to nonviolent communication and all of that other, information, as well as what we had to read last in the final exam. That was very, very important, and it was really, really important to why we're teaching artists and why we should be trying to push the envelope as much as we should. Anyway, I digress. The purpose for this video is supposed to be a before and after. So before I took this course, I kind of knew what a teaching artist was, but I didn't know exactly what was entailed with being a teaching artist. I knew that, okay, they go and they teach art, but what forms of art? It could be various forms of art. It could be visual arts, performing arts, industrial arts, that type of thing. But I didn't know the techniques nor the methodology into why people become teaching artists as opposed to becoming art teachers. But now I know, and that's exactly why I would love to become a teaching artist as opposed to an art teacher, because after witnessing what art teachers and what teaching artists do versus what teaching artists do, teaching artists have more fun. They're able to let students they allow students to become artists for art's sake. They allow them to utilize their creative minds to do what they need to do to have the greatest end product possible. The Kagan techniques were were key in one of the classrooms that I observed. In fact, they used a lot of round robin. They used a lot of peer-to-peer criticism. They used a lot of, like one person were to draw and the other person give feedback, and then the other person draw, the other person give feedback. They actually utilized that in the immigrant populations as well. Pardon my nose because it's like really itchy and it won't stop. But after all of that, going into the immigrant populations was the more interesting of the two, because before I didn't know how I would go about trying to teach a new immigrant how to even start an artistic piece. But now, through nonviolent communication as well as cooperative learning, I know that I can group my students according to their abilities, according to their language, and that they would be able to then work with each other to help build each other up. I can individualize the curriculum for those English language learners that are on the lower part of the spectrum, and then those that are English language learners that understand a lot more. I can gear the curriculum towards them. I can make sure that they don't feel ostracized because the fact that they would be working collaboratively together, and I would actually introduce more kids that were English speaking so that they could actually build a bridge and destroy the barriers of language, and making sure that these kids aren't being bullied for the fact that, okay, they don't speak the language or they may not understand the concepts. So this course was very enlightening. I will say I will definitely use a lot of these techniques going forward. I enjoyed the reading immensely, and I also enjoyed, just making sure that I would be learned in the techniques that I would have to utilize in order to go forward and be the best teaching artist possible. So again, Dr. Helm Hammond and the rest of the class, thank you so much for, listening, and I enjoy learning from you as well.